All right, we are here with a new unboxing for the Azure C7 OP14. And as you can see, it's not in English, it's in Japanese because it's that hard to get product in the United States. I know other countries like Australia has always had really hard time. Other countries have had a pretty hard time. I've been trying, it has been unsuccessful. I do have the amazing Poke Restock app, which obviously I'm one of the brains behind this, where as you can see we have the Target restock that's been happening. We also have the Walmart restock that's been happening, and it is not likely. I've tried to get it from Walmart. I've tried to get it from Target. It's been pretty tough. At least you get the notifications with the app, but it is pretty difficult considering there's very low stock. So although the app is working, although the app is useful, it's been a lot easier to get Pokemon lately just because they have a lot of stock and the bots haven't been as aggressive. Whereas with One Piece, the bots are botting and the stock and inventory is not great. So thus then, we have Japanese product. Now, I've heard nothing but bad things about Japanese product because people say, oh, it's very easy to open the box and then seal it, because basically the only thing that keeps it sealed is this little piece of tape right here. I don't know how true that is. We'll find out. If we end up getting like nothing from this box, then we can go ahead and ask ourselves the question, is it really untampered with, or is it potentially an issue of what do you call it, synthetic L's? Because you always are not guaranteed to get something good, but sometimes you're guaranteed to get something really bad if you are given something that is a literal dead box. But let's see, hopefully this goes well. We have Whitebeard here for good luck. So let's open some of these packs. I like the box that this comes in. It actually looks pretty interesting. I believe this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I believe this is the same size and count. This looks to be 24 packs. We can do a count as we go along, but I do believe that this should be just about the same as the American version. And I will go faster because there were some complaints last time that I basically was yapping up a storm and taking my sweet time. I'll be honest, I mean, I was a little bit excited for this set because it's new. There's new leaders. This is actually a really good counter, although in English it looks a little bit more textured. I don't know if it's just me, but I remember it being a little bit more textured. Vista, who honestly I really don't know what the point of this Vista is, not gonna lie to you. I feel like there's no point of running that Vista in the Ace deck. Maybe in Marco it would be okay, not 100% sure though. Oh, that's pretty nice. Not 100% sure though. Oh wow, is there like less cards? No, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Huh. 6. Is it 6 per pack always? I thought it was 12 per pack. I must be I must be losing it because I could have sworn, but maybe what I have is a smaller booster box because it says 128 on it. So maybe it's, I don't know, maybe it's a little bit smaller. I don't know. I never bought Japanese product before, so if I'm getting schemed, then boy is it easy. This Ryuma is pretty good in Thriller Bark. I've been using him. He's not perfect, but he's definitely a decent option. I kind of don't know. Oh, wow, that's actually really nice. This would be pretty nice in English. This is like, I don't know if anyone even cares about the main event of this card, because the main event is that if you rest 2 Dawn, you can negate effect of someone. So it's like a 3 cost to negate a blocker or something else. And then the counter is if you have 10 cards in your trash, it becomes a 1 for 4. I think that most black decks will like this because you're going to send things to your trash. But at the same time, I feel like people are overhyping it because there is I think an OP10 card. I just bought it recently, actually, because that card's pretty expensive. Where if your trash is 15 or more, you get 1 for 4. So it's very similar. And it's, pretty much the same thing, I want to say. At least for Thriller Bark, because Thriller Bark, it's all about sending stuff to your trash. It's all about doing that, so it's kind of whatever. You don't really mind. Disappointed. This Perona is really good. I like the Thriller Bark deck. That Perona is basically, Perona and Hogback are basically the 2 most important cards when it comes to Thriller Bark. I stink with it because I don't have all the hogbacks yet. I opened my entire booster box. I got one hogback. I do not have all of the I do not have all of the 8 cost Gecko Moria. I don't have any. Hey, there you go, Gecko Moria. I don't have any of the PRB2 6 cost Gecko Moria. I don't know, bro. In my opinion, PRB2 was one of the worst boxes they ever made for One Piece because it came out, it was barely affordable. It was like 180 on release. No one had it. Target didn't sell it. Local game stores barely had anything. It was just like absolutely terrible. I have no idea why it was so hard to get your hands on. And PRB2 had some legitimately heat cards. Like, I ended up paying, I think, like $16 for 2 Marcos. Another Marco I got from a friend. I'm not doing it for Gecko Moria because I feel like people say when you play Gecko Moria, he's good, but he's not as good as you would think because after the 6th curve, you're not going to play him. This is also a very good event. I believe the trigger is similar to the 9 cost Boa, where if you have a card in your hand that's 6,000 power or less and has a trigger, you can play it. And then also, it has a pretty interesting effect where the counter is that you make it so that an active enemy character cannot attack. So, you know, say if the enemy has like 3 big body 12 cost characters, they attack with 112 and then you stop the other. It's a pretty good counter. It's very unique though because it kind of assumes that you would be having your opponent attack with their leader then their character, which most people do. But now that I know that that card is in most Boa decks, I usually pay attention for it, and I will usually just attack first with my bigger guy and then attack with my leader, just because it can stop a character attack, but it cannot stop a leader. I don't know. I mean, I don't know how to feel about Boa. Everybody complains about Boa. Everybody says it's terrible. I have a yellow-green Yamato deck, which is a pretty good counter to that. I mean, it's not perfect, but you definitely can see and feel like the difference in it. One thing I will say about Boa that I think is very different from Thriller Bark is she has some like pretty good defensive triggers. So for example, this guy is a blocker. He costs 3. His trigger is play this card. That's pretty good because that basically saves you a hit. And you already took a hit, which basically means that you want to save yourself. All right, this Dawn looks beautiful. One thing that's interesting and one thing to keep in mind is that Japanese Dawn can be used in the United States as official game use. So like say if you got a Golden Dawn or if you got a Special Dawn, you can technically use that anywhere in the world because that's the official game rules. Like a Dawn is a Dawn. You kind of don't need an explanation, which is pretty cool. That's actually pretty unique. I personally hate Dawn hits. I don't like Dawn hits. I'd rather get a character. But it is what it is. There's not much you can say. There's not much you can do. Technically, there is a Dawn hit. This would have been nice. This would have been nice to get in my actual box. I literally opened an entire box. Let me put the Mihawk Dawn to the side. I actually like this Mihawk Dawn quite a lot. I opened 1 booster box, and I only got 1 Dr. Hogback, which is nasty, bro, because you need to run 4 yellow Dr. Hogbacks, probably 3 or 4 black Dr. Hogbacks from OP10, 4 Peronas 100%, 4 of these guys for the 2K counter 100%. And I don't know, this box is very all over the place. Like, it has a lot of cool characters. There's another guy that's good to run in Thriller Bark just for the search. This box is pretty cool just for like all the characters and different things that are in it. But because there's so many leaders and there's so many characters for those leaders, it really does feel like you're overwhelmed where you're like getting, like, I have so much crocodile bulk without actually getting a crocodile leader or anyone crocodile related. I have a few Boa bulk, a few Mihawk bulk. By the way, first Tashigi I've ever seen for a booster box. Tashigi's very good for Mihawk's deck. She is very hard to get in my opinion because I open a booster box, my friends open a booster box, I think 3 or 4 booster box between us, and I think like maybe 1 Tashigi came out of it, which is pretty crazy. This guy goes in Thriller Bark, but I don't know how good he is. Isho, he's kind of eh. Alright, and then we have the beautiful Mist Sunday. Well, I got her in a dash pack and gave her away because, again, I'm not running Crocodile. I'll tell you what, though. Although there are a lot of leaders in this set, the leaders are actually pretty beautiful, especially Boa Hancock. Boa Hancock probably is, like, the most beautiful leader just because of her gigantic 5-head. Crocodile is a close second. Don Flamingo looks really good, too. And I think they're also pretty undervalued. Ooh, nice. I never got a Mihawk in the English. I think they're also pretty undervalued because, okay, obviously Boa Hancock is like overpriced. She's like $200-something, which is crazy, especially after a pre-release. And then there's also Crocodile, who's like 40-50 bucks. I actually just pulled the trigger and bought a Crocodile. I'm not planning to play Crocodile. His deck looks pretty fun, but I'm not planning on doing it. He just looks so damn good. Like, he looks amazing. His leader looks really good. The cigar smoking, I mean, bro's him. Bro looks really cool. So I feel like there's a lot of good pickups. And even Gecko Moria. Gecko Moria looks pretty good. He doesn't look amazing. He's definitely not the best leader. But he's like 30 bucks for an alt. 30 bucks for a brand new alt is pretty good, man. Like, I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm tempted to buy the Gecko Moria alt, but I stink with his deck right now. And I don't want to be that guy who, like, buys the Gecko Moria deck and is like, oh, you know, I bought it just because I'm playing Gecko Moria, but, like, I don't really feel like I'm good with Gecko Moria. I'm not a huge fan of Gecko Moria. I don't hate him. The deck's fun, but I don't know. I feel like I'd be a fraud to get him as a leader right now because I don't think he looks that good. And, I stink with the deck. If I get better with the deck, I might buy it. I might just be chatting and just buy it because he's like 30 bucks low key. But let's see. Rayleigh, very good. Rayleigh is like the guy, bro. At least when it comes to Boa Hancock, that's like the go-to removal in Boa Hancock's deck. The only thing I've seen people run other than Rayleigh for the 6 is obviously Kuma. And then everything else for Boa Hancock is pretty aggressive. Everyone is pretty much like taking an opponent's life or giving an opponent's life to yourself. Wista, the old lady, Kinemon. This guy's a goat for the new yellow-green Yamato. His on play is you play him for 4, reactivate 3 of your Dawn, then you cannot play characters. And then his on KO, if he dies, is rest one of your opponent's characters, which is pretty good. That's actually really good considering he's like a really good card. And then we have Gecko Moria. I bought 2 more from TCG Player. I pulled 2. Well, actually, I didn't pull 2. I pulled 1, and then someone else gave me another one. And that's the guy to get, bro. He's really good in the Thriller Bark deck. He's pretty much guaranteed to, you know, give you a life and do something for you. For me, I don't know. I definitely am missing the spark for the Thriller Bark deck because I don't know. I've only played Boa, so maybe like Boa against Thriller Bark is not the best matchup, but it's been pretty hard. It's been pretty tough. And then we got Tarkful Law. He's pretty good. I like his art. I don't know how his deck really operates because he has a lot of like attack manipulation and a lot of different things that changes, but I'm not really sure. By the way, I'm not sure if this is a fact or fiction, but I don't know if Japanese booster boxes are mapped the same way American booster boxes are mapped. If it's not mapped, I don't mind it that much, but I really don't remember because so far we've gotten some hits. Nothing crazy. But I would say that this is definitely a hit. The Gecko Moria is definitely a hit. This, believe it or not, he's not a hit, but he low-key is because I never got him in the other box. These 3 are definitely hits in the Dawn. So, you know, this isn't necessarily amazing alt leaders going on here. It's not necessarily the rarest thing ever. But for a game pack, this is okay-ish. Just looking at the cards that I'm seeing, it seems like you can get a lot of Thriller Bark. Because that's one thing that I saw for most booster boxes is that Thriller Bark was pretty common. Like, you can get a good number of Thriller Bark characters in the box. Despite it being all over the place and having all these different leaders, you kind of have a chance there. So we got Mr. Beppo, we got some more Baroque Works blocker. We got Odin. If he came out in OP12 would be amazing. Bro's like a 5 for 7 on defense, but it's just too much time has passed, man. Like, he just ain't what he is. Marguerite, who is a Boa staple. And then we have the Jinbei event, which looks really nice. But for me, I don't really know how to, I would like to go to a locals or even just watch it on YouTube, just see how Jinbei plays. Because it seems like Jinbei is similar to Red Rayleigh, where like you're just going broadly with a billion little babies, and then you're using Arrested Dawn to be able to do damage to the enemy, and that's pretty much the only way you're ever going to do it, is that you're going to just have so many bodies, which is weird because that's usually how yellow decks play. All right, so we got these Shanks, which is a pretty good card. We got 2 packs left so far, or actually 3 packs left. So far, nothing crazy. Understand that this was technically cheaper than the United States version. It's about $75 from Walmart. I'm sure, I don't know if it's going to stay that way, but, you know, that's a pretty good price considering that the only way you're really getting a booster box right now is if you buy it from Bandai directly for like 110, which I don't have enough time to go there at 8 o'clock in the morning. And I you know, it's not so much enough time as much as I don't have the resolve. I just don't have the heart to go there. And then we got the Nami, who is extremely good. She's very, very good. She basically was built for red-green Luffy, which is crazy because red-green Luffy is not even that bad. Like, bro didn't really need the support, but she basically like made red-green Luffy even better. Kinemon, random Alabasta guy who's gonna do nothing until the Alabasta EBO4 comes out. This guy's actually pretty good. He's I believe he has Rush. But only if it's, I think it's cost dependent, which for Crocodile, he can make people 0 cost, so bro's always going to be able to do it. And I think he's also a 4 for, oh, actually, never mind. I thought it was a 4 for 6, but he's actually a 5 for 6. All right, let's see. Last pack, let's see what it'll be. Not looking too crazy. I mean, this is looking like a pretty traditional whatever box. All right, let's see. We got the random fish guy, we got the Cavendish, hey, we got the Japanese alt SR Boa. That's actually pretty good. I actually pulled that on pre-release in the English version of the game. In the Japanese version, I'm not sure how, again, I don't know if this is like actually mapped or if this is very rare or not, but in general, she's pretty rare-ish. I say rare-ish because like right now, almost every card in the United States is like overpriced. Like she, when I pulled her at pre-release, was $140, and I just gave it to a friend and was like, listen, in the future, we get a box, let's split it. You know what I mean? I'm thinking like whatever. She's like 140, 150. And now she's like $200 something, which is crazy because she's an alternate SR. She's a very good card, don't get me wrong, but it's crazy that her price increased after the pre-release. The way that this usually works, I mean, since like OP11, OP12, I mean, all last year, a card will come out, it'll be really hyped, it'll be really expensive. After pre-release, people will now open the boxes and sell stuff, and then players will just be like, all right, I'm not buying that. Like players would never buy this for $200. Like, even if they wanted it to use in their deck for an alt art, they'd be like, I'm not buying that. Like, that's too expensive. So they'll end up just waiting and being like, all right, you know, I'm just not going to buy it. Which is crazy because, like, now there's so many people who are just buying things blindly, which is, I guess, a good thing if you're trying to sell things, but it's terrible because now people are, like, buying starter decks and then taking the pack of the starter deck and then just selling the starter deck. And they're basically just, like, literally just trying to scalp every aspect of the game. That's why things like, you know, for example, the app that is there, Poke Restock, as well as on Twitter and other websites where they'll give you like in-stock notifications, they're so valuable because like it gives you a chance to get it at MSRP. It's very rare online, I would say. I would say going to your Target or your Walmart on a random Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, like 9 a.m., 10 a.m. in the morning, you might be able to walk into a restock and get 2 things or 5 things if you're at Walmart. But yeah, I don't know. I think One Piece has definitely gotten a little bit overpriced over time, and it's definitely ridiculous because now it's gotten to the point where I'm ripping Japanese packs just to rip. I'm just here to rip, you know. If you get something that's nice with a nice SR or a nice art, you can have it, save it, keep it to the side. But yeah, I can't complain. I definitely like this Mihawk Don. I actually got the gold Don in English. I like his Don in general. I feel like his Don is actually pretty cool. Hogback, I'd like to get more of him. I am going to get more of him. It's coming from TCG player. Kikunojo, she's very good. This event is amazing. And then the Japanese, hard to get event. I believe this is Baroque Works, and I think you do use it in Crocodile, but it's for any black deck. It's really good. A lot of black deck players want it. So if you do pull in English, it is sought after, and you probably want to just keep your hand on it, because 1 for 4, 10 in the trash for a black deck is pretty good. And then we have the Alt SR Boa, and that's that. That is pretty much it. We didn't really get anything that you could really build a deck with. I mean, we got a Law Leader, we got a Gecko Moria Leader, which is okay. But again, this is not a great... In my opinion, it's pretty funny because, like, this box, if you were to look at the subreddit for One Piece over the summer, everyone said they were going to skip it. They're like, it's not worth it. It's just a bunch of leaders. I don't want it. I don't want it. And now it's like the hottest box, and the demand is out of control because there's so many people who are new to the hobby and people just jumping in, where it's like they don't know what came before it. They can't get it, so they get what's new. And they're just overhyping this and overinflating this. In my opinion, cards like this, for example, it's very nice. It looks very nice. $100 is pushing it. $200 is insane. I think you will see a correction. At what point, I don't know. I mean, maybe when Pokemon has more in-stocks items for Ascended Heroes and new things, people will jump ship to there and start scalping that. Not really sure. But for now, One Piece is very sought after, very hard to get. And it is going to only get worse as supply is not met by Bandai. So hopefully someone somewhere out there will get distracted by like Kaiju number 8 or the new Bleach TCG. Maybe leave One Piece alone because it's hard to get as is. Having scalpers in the mix makes it that much harder. But there we go. Some pretty good hits. Pretty cool. And we'll leave it at that.